Thursday, October 29th. We're here outside in front of the Boston Housing Court on Dan with Unicorn Riot. There's a rally against the massive wave of evictions and foreclosures that is starting in the state. Basically, Governor Baker had a moratorium on foreclosures and evictions, which got lifted on October 17th. So they've tried to put in some programs that are kind of like stopgap measures that are barely even working. Not much aid has been going out at all. Once again, millennials are going to get hit really hard by another recession or economic calamity. So we're here. The main organization organizing this today is City Life Vida Urbana. So there's several dozen people here. There's a live band. There's going to be the speakers are going to kind of go over the political situation in a few minutes. So if you'll stick with us, we're going to be following what's happening here today. Again, I'm Dan at Unicorn Riot, and we're in front of the Boston Housing Court, Edward Brook Courthouse. So please stand by, and things will be starting in the next few minutes. Thank you. And this guy is in front of me. And now he's not.
Martes en inglés, miércoles en español a las 6:30 siempre por Zoom, donde se puede consultar con un abogado brevemente y se puede ver transmitido por Facebook Live.
Again, so we're live here in Boston in front of the Edward Brook Courthouse where Boston Housing Court is. And this is a rally against the massive wave of foreclosures and evictions that's coming in. So I'm going to reposition here and let you know what's going on.
All right. It's not the start yet. We're glad folks are coming. We just need a few tools to get you in the groove. We're hoping Antonio would want to sing for us, and the band can play for us.
So, so we're out here in front of the courthouse. This is a rally organized by City Life Vida Urbana. They're calling for House Bill 5018, which is a bill that would hopefully prevent 100,000 evictions.
Ya fuimos alrededor para reunir a todos aquí. Vamos a empezar muy pronto.
So they're starting in a few minutes here. Again, we're downtown.
Good morning, everybody. Ben, come on up. A little closer. How's everybody doing this morning? We're going to get this rally started. We're going to lift our voices
We're gonna let everybody know that we're pissed off, and while we're out here trying to prevent these evictions, these mass evictions that are about to come down the pipe. So before that, we want to warm you guys up. It's okay to come on in a little bit, but still keep social distancing. We do have masks. For anybody that doesn't have a mask, just ask one of the organizers that are out here. I want everybody to do one thing. When I say it loud, I need y'all to say, we won't back down. We won't back down. Say it loud. We won't back down. Say it loud. We won't back down. Say it loud. We won't back down. Come on, come on, come on. Say it loud. We won't back down.
Pedimos que la banda se acerque más. Estamos para empezar ya esta protesta para levantar nuestras voces y prevenir el desalojo masivo que estamos enfrentando. Que se acerquen todos, pero recuerden mantener su distancia. Tenemos máscaras. Si usted necesita una máscara, por favor acérquese a uno de los organizadores. Y también voy a pedir que todos lo digan en voz alta. No nos haremos para atrás.
All right, y'all got that? Let's try it again. Say it loud. We won't back down. Come on, come on, come on. Say it loud. We won't back down. Come on, come on, come on. Say it loud. We won't back down. Can't hear y'all. I said, say it loud. We won't back down. Come on, come on, come on. Say it loud. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Say it loud. Make some noise out there. And remember, out here today, your voice is the strongest thing you have. So if you ain't trying to lift your voice, I don't know what to tell you. We need to hear your voices out here today because that's why we're here. All right? So I'm going to pass it over to Gabby so we can get this started.
Recuerden que estamos aquí para levantar nuestras voces. Vamos a levantar las voces y ahora se lo voy a pasar a Gaby.
All right, so we're in front of the Boston Housing Court.
My name is Gabriela. For those who don't know me, I am one of the Northside organizers here with City Life Urbana. Hola, mi nombre es Gabriela, soy una de las organizadoras del Zona Norte aquí con City Life Vida Urbana. ¿Dónde está Northside? Where's Northside? Y bueno, queremos comenzar solo con hacer un reconocimiento de la tierra en cual estamos parados ahorita, ¿verdad? Antes no existían estos edificios. Antes no existían, ¿verdad? Este concreto, este edificio de concreto, right? So right now I just want to take the time to recognize the land we're standing on, right? Hundreds of years ago, these buildings did not exist. This architecture, Greek-inspired architecture did not exist, right? These pillars did not exist, the cement did not exist. Right? Before, the ocean was like right there. But something called the Big Dig expanded it, right? Antes, el Costa del Mar estaba como por ahí, ¿verdad? Pero algo llamado el Big Dig expandió ese terreno. Y queremos pararnos aquí y reconocer que estamos en la tierra Massachusetts, Wampanoag, Nipmuc, ¿verdad? Eso es el nombre originario en la tierra en cual estamos parados. So I just wanted to start off by recognizing the original names of the land we're standing on, which is the Massachusetts Wampanoag Nipmuc land, right? Massachusetts is called Massachusetts for a reason, but it's missing the Wampanoag Nipmuc recognition, right? And we are here to just spend 5 seconds of silence to recognize those who have been genocided to make this happen. Queremos tomar unos 5 segundos de silencio para reconocer esta tierra originario y sus personas indígenas al travesía de crear todo esto en lo que estamos parados ahorita. Take a moment. You hear that? I hear the pounding of machinery. ¿Escuchan eso? En ese silencio. Escucho las máquinas construyendo edificios. Gentrification. All right. Well, para comenzar, ¿verdad? Solo quiero recordarles que pónganse las máscaras. Right before starting, again, I just want to remind you, put your masks on. This is a mask-only event. Estamos en el medio de una pandemia global de salud pública. Please remember that we are in the middle of a public health crisis globally. Right, and it's not just Massachusetts, it's globally. Y también, ¿verdad? Este protesto va a ser bilingüe, inglés y español. Y tenemos nuestro intérprete, Erika, aquí, que nos va a introducir rápido. And this protest is bilingual. We push language justice hard here in Citywide. We are still working on our Haitian Creole. Make sure soon this will be trilingual. Y todavía estamos trabajando en interpretación creole haitiano. Se lo voy a pasar a Erika, and this is our interpreter.
Hello everyone, my name is Erika. I'm one of the interpreters with City Life Vida Urbana, and I'm just going to ask the presenters to please keep in mind to speak not too fast, but also to give me time to interpret. Hola, soy Erika Pérez, yo soy una de las intérpretes con City Life Vida Urbana, y solo le quiero pedir a los que van a hablar acá que no hable tan rápido, pero también que recuerden que hablen de poquito a poquito para yo poder interpretar. Gracias.
So we're outside
Gracias, Erika.
Boston Housing Court right now.
Y también,
Check this out.
during this action, we want all of you to be active on your cell phones just for a bit, right? Make sure you live stream, make sure you post on Instagram, make sure you post on Facebook, thank you. Make sure you post on Twitter, right? Hashtag, what are the hashtags? Come first.
Housing Guarantee MA and Vivienda Garantizada MA, and also hashtag Prevent Mass Evictions.
Hashtag Prevent Mass Evictions. Hashtag Housing Guaranteed MA. Right? And right now, throughout the whole action, we're going to be reminding you, right, to be tuned in. You can text CASA, C-A-S-A. Take your phone out. Everyone take your phone out.
Take your phone out, please.
We're going to send a text message real quick. Take your phone out. If you're live streaming, write it down. Tell your friend to write it down. And start writing out a text to 617. Sacan sus celulares. Vamos a escribir un texto juntos. Sacan sus celulares. Y ese número es 617-934-934-5006. 5006. You have that number out on your text? You ready to send that text? Okay, tienen ese texto, el número ya listo. Okay, ahora escriben CASA en ese texto. Now write CASA, C-A-S-A, on that text and hit send. Ahora manda ese texto con CASA, C-A-S-A, a ese número 617-934-5006. Again, text CASA to 617-934-5006. We will do this again in a bit. And
Hello, everybody. So announcement, guys. Somebody just lost a credit card. Sophia, you should come to see me.
I just got to adjust my tripod. 1 second.
Okay, good.
1 second.
Alright, so glad que esa persona ya tiene su carta. Esa persona, estamos buscando quién era el dueño de esa tarjeta de crédito. Recuerden, cierre sus bolsas, close your pockets, close your purse, right? Don't drop anything.
Okay.
Cierren las carteras, no boten nada, ¿ok? Somos comunidad, pero de vez en cuando, ¿verdad? Cosas se desaparecen. You know, we're a community, but you know, sometimes things disappear. Alright, and just a reminder, we have Brendan. Where's Brendan? Brendan over there with the red sign. He's recording testimonies. 40 to 30-second testimonies. Please go up to Brendan at some point throughout this protest and have your testimony recorded. Tell him why you're supporting the Guaranteed Housing Stability Act. Tell him about your experience when you received that first notice to quit and why you need this act to pass now to prevent your eviction. ¿Verdad? Tenemos Brendan aquí con la seña roja que está grabando testimonios sobre por qué tú apoyas el acto de viviendas garantizados. También pueden compartir su testimonio sobre en la primera vez que recibiste tu primer carta de desalojo o su experiencia en corte, ¿verdad? Tome la oportunidad con Brendan de compartir tu historia. Sus historias son tan importantes en esta lucha, porque este número, 130,000 personas siendo desalojados, ese número significa nada a nuestros legisladores si no tenemos 130,000 historias detrás de ese número. Right? This number, 130,000 households at risk of eviction and foreclosure, that number is empty. It means nothing to our legislators. That number means nothing unless we get 130 stories and faces to back up that number. Right? We need faces to these numbers. We need stories to these numbers. So make sure you get a Brendan and get your testimony recorded.
So in Massachusetts, notice to quit is not the same as an
All
eviction.
right, everybody.
Notice to quit is before eviction.
This song is a cue for some other things that we plan on doing at this time. So the folks who know what to do will know what to do right now. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Go tell our governor, we shall not be moved. Go tell our governor, we shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. Alex, we shall not be moved. Everywhere we go, we shall not be moved. Everywhere we are, we shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Go tell Beacon Hill, we shall not be moved. Go tell Beacon Hill, we shall not be moved. Like a tree planted by the water, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree planted by the water, we shall not be moved. Let me hear you say that.
So we're at the entrance to Housing Court in Boston right now. These folks are standing outside the entrance, trying to basically send the message that this eviction policy, which was being blocked by the governor all year, but got lifted on October 17th. They're sending the message that House Bill 5018 should be passed, and that basically, we're looking at 100,000 evictions that could happen in the state of Massachusetts because of the policy situation right now. So that's what's going on here. We're live right here, downtown Boston, near Haymarket.
So broke and love cannot sustain what we're doing right now. We're blocking the door of the housing court right now to show our displeasure with the governor's decision.
So, sorry. All right, sorry, 1 second, folks.
Estamos demostrando que no estamos de acuerdo con lo que el gobernador está haciendo.
Okay. Sorry, I missed that quote, folks.
Right now, ¿verdad? Housing equals health. La vivienda es la salud. ¿Me escuchan? You hear me? Right now, right? We are saying housing equals health. If 130,000 people get displaced during a global pandemic, what do you think will happen?
There's no power like the people power!
Housing equals health. People are working from home. People are teaching their children from home. People are being schooled from home. People are taking their clinical appointments from home. En este momento, ¿verdad? O si 130,000 personas se desalojan o se pierden sus casas, ¿qué creen que pasaría con ellos? No se escucha, ¿qué creen que pasaría con esas 130,000 personas que se desalojan? Muerte, muerte. Queremos muerte.
Sorry about the murky sound. I'll have us flipped around in a second here, folks. So these people are blocking the entrance to the housing court here in Boston. Obviously, the court system has been a pretty big issue in the United States in the last few days in general. So here in Boston, housing court is where evictions get processed. One of the things that City Life Vida Urbana works on is trying to help people that are facing possible eviction. They emphasize that just because you get what's called a notice to quit from a landlord, that is not the same as an eviction. Evictions still have to move through the court system. So, reposition here. Sorry.
Who we are! So we tell them! We are the people! We are the people! We are the people! The fighting people! Everywhere we go! The people wanna know! Who we are! So we tell them! We are
Sorry.
the union! The mighty union!
So we're at the doors of Boston Housing Court right now. Folks are blocking this person from going in. There's definitely, I would call this an active blockade. It looks like someone from the security gestured at this guy. So, all right, trial court of the Commonwealth Security. So yeah, we're at Boston Housing Court. Right now, activists have blockaded the entrance to the court. This man is not getting inside. He's got some paperwork in his arm. So this is essentially a direct action blocking the courts. Right now, there is a Boston police officer inside the vestibule, inside the entryway. I don't see any larger set of police at this point. I do not see a large police force here. I think so the civil disobedience action is going on, and folks are holding the entrance to the courthouse right now. So I'm just going to give a quick shot around just so you can see the setting here. Okay, the police are coming out. All right. Just to give you a quick view of what's going on. Oh, wait, let's see what's going on here.
If we don't get it! 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 And if we don't get it!
There's probably a good solid like 50 people here right now, roughly, maybe 60 people right here, including members of the media. All right, they're asking folks to back up a little bit. All right, keeping an eye on this. So just to give you a little view here, there's quite a lot of people here. This line of folks holding this line. The police officer backed down for a moment. Security officer is going over to talk with the police officer. This man is standing here with some paperwork. I'm just going to give you a little view of the setting, as it looks like they're not going to push in right now. So we have these signs. So the folks with the green shirts, that's City Life Vida Urbana. It's an organization that works on housing justice. So it's a pretty large number of people down here today, just to give you that idea. So let's see. This person's they're talking to this guy. So they're not going to try to push in right now. Police are on a radio. Security is on some kind of phone call. But yeah, I'm not seeing any other additional police right now. So sorry, 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay.
Que han fallecido. Y noviembre 2 reconocemos a todos los adultos que sean fallecidos. Ahora estamos orando.
All right. So the police are not pushing right now. The situation is pretty static up there. We just have the one police officer.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
Once again, we're outside the Edward W. Brooke Courthouse. This is Dan at Unicorn Riot. It's about 10:30, Thursday, October 29th. A massive wave of evictions is starting up in the Boston area right now. So we're sort of trying to keep tabs on this because housing in Massachusetts is a notoriously serious problem. Housing is very expensive in this state. There's a lot of speculation. Prices of apartments can be upwards of $2,000 a month. So it's a huge problem. And part of what these folks are working on has a lot to do with gentrification in particular neighborhoods. If you go to Vida Urbana's website, and we link to it on Unicorn Riot's website, they put out a study showing that eviction is concentrated in communities of color. So we have something going on here. Okay, so someone who looks like a landlord or an attorney or something like that was able to push in a second ago. The security guard, it looks like they helped get one person to push into the court. So that's the first entry that I think we've seen up to this point. Other than that, the doors have been blocked. So again, the signs say small owners and tenants. They pay us H5018, which is a bill that's sort of been the main bill down at the legislature, which would create aid for renters. It would also give some aid for landlords. It would also basically, financially would create some assistance so that, so yes, people wouldn't get evicted, but also money would get to the landlords. Right now, what I saw, again, this report is linked on unicornriot.ninja. We've got a post up on there right now to kind of give you the quick nutshell view of this. But,
It's only the beginning, everybody.
Right now about...
it's just the beginning of what Massachusetts now has to go through.
So he's saying
You gotta go through us.
This is just the beginning of what Massachusetts is going to have to go through. But yeah, about 10% of the workers in Massachusetts right now are getting unemployment. That is 10% of the workers, or 9.4% of the workers are getting unemployment insurance right now. Obviously, there's been no, financial assistance for the public during the crisis since the checks earlier this year. So it's, there hasn't been much assistance. Okay, let's look at a state police officer. There's a state police officer here. So I think we've seen...
Get ready! Hold the line! No one get through!
Security coming.
No one get through!
Alright. There's a line of about maybe 8 to 10 journalists right here in front of me. I'm shooting over them right now. So, it's an officer, Frohawk, I think. Officer Frohawk, I think, possibly from the Massachusetts State Police. Separately, there's been a lot of scandals with the state police involving, there's been a lot of scandals with the state police. Overtime scandals, you can look that up. There's just kind of a shocking number of scandals with the state police. That's a separate issue. And also I want to thank our back-end operator, Jen. Jen's been running this for Unicorn Riot on the back end. Thank you, Jen. Unicorn Riot's a non-profit media organization. Anything you can do to support our work will help us cover these social movements live. We're live right now on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Periscope. So please follow Unicorn Riot and subscribe if you want to get updates when we go live. Alright, this is let's see what's going on here. Okay, so the state police officers going inside. We have 2 security officers that say trial court of the Commonwealth here. We're outside the Edward Brook Courthouse, where Housing Court in Boston is. We're near Haymarket in downtown Boston right now. Alright, so I'm gonna... It looks like things have calmed down for a second, so... Well, let's see. Okay, here's a guy. Let's see what's happening here. Alright. I'm just guessing that... Let's see. Alright, so we're keeping an eye on this. There's a civil disobedience action blocking the entrance to the courthouse right now. It is about 10:40 in the morning almost here in Boston, Eastern time. Those folks are going in. I'm guessing they might be tenants. Hopefully in a little bit we might be able to talk to some of the organizers about some of the details of what happens in housing court, getting a little more clarification about what's called notice to quit, which is not the same as an eviction. a lot of tenants think that notice to quit is the same as eviction, and landlords don't necessarily, spell out the legal rights of tenants. So that's part of the process. Every state has a different system for evictions, so there's a matter of education and stuff like that. So one of the things Vida Urbana does is has big meetings. They've had to adapt that to COVID, but they try to work with tenants to educate them on their rights and stuff like that. So, all right, we're gonna go check out the speaker for a second. There's a lot of noise from the construction. Take a look at these signs. So, expulsion from your home is death, roughly speaking. Boston's a very multilingual city. So they've been generally speaking in Spanish and English. And I think they're working on another language. I think they said it was Haitian Creole, I think, or Cabo Verde, maybe. Sorry, but it's starting to rain a little. I was prepared, brought an umbrella.
This man is dangerous for all of us. Pero Baker está añadiendo dinero nuevo a nuestros programas de alivio de renta. Pero ese dinero apenas es una fracción pequeña.
All right.
Que se necesita realmente.
So. Nothing changed over here at the moment. Again, we've got a post up on unicornriot.ninja. If you go to our website right now, which has links to the policy. H5018 is the newest version of the bill, as well as info at Vida Urbana's website. You can get that link on. Sorry, you can get that link on unicornriot.ninja.
Por eso necesitamos el acto de viviendas garantizadas ahora. No 100 millones de dólares. Necesitamos un acto de viviendas garantizadas ahora. Not hands, making sure no one enters that courthouse unless they really need to, right? Aquí estamos, nuestra familia de frío está frente a nuestra puerta. Nadie va a entrar, nadie está saliendo. Ellos están teniendo sus cuerpos en el camino de estos desalojos. Tienen que estar dispuestos de usar sus cuerpos, para luchar contra estos desalojos, para prevenir esta oleaje grande de desalojos.
So there's probably about maybe 60 people down here, I think, roughly, including at least 10 media people.
And now I'm going to pass the mic to Ken, who's going to share her testimony around her long wait time for her last application. And she has to wait with her parents, because it's time speak Spanish. Right?
I think we're going to hear from a community member involved in the housing problems here. Again, we're live in Boston in front of the Edward Brooke Courthouse this morning. Again, a protest against the eviction policy. Alright, someone went in. There wasn't a struggle. Sorry, one second. Okay. It's got to reconfigure here. 1 second, folks. Okay, come on. Let's see. 1 second.
Is there a megaphone over there?
I think their sound system had a little electrical problem.
I saw it there and I was like,
Okay. Let's see. Okay.
Hola, over there. Here's the Hola, sí!
So there's a direct action going on. These folks are locked arm in arm. They've been trying to stop landlords from getting into the building. Okay, we have at least 4 police over here. I'll go take a look. Okay, state police. Okay, 2 Boston police on the left. And 3 state police on the right. So let's take a look at this. And here's the one in English. So, House Bill 5108. He's saying something. Alright, I'm gonna head back. I thought there was a scrum.
I am here, but I should be in class because I have to come and speak for my parents and my community who often go overlooked and are overlooked by our government that is supposed to serve them. That is not fair. Y ahora en español. Mi nombre es Kimberly, yo soy una estudiante de último año en la preparatoria de Boston School. Yo estoy aquí porque mis padres no pueden hablar inglés, ellos no lo pueden leer y por eso yo tengo que preocuparme de llenar mis aplicaciones a la universidad. Tengo que hacer mi tarea y llenar para recibir ayuda federal al mismo tiempo que estoy preocupada si mis padres van a ser desalojados. Y eso no se vale, eso no es justo porque yo soy una menor de edad, que yo tengo otras cosas por las cuales estar desalojados. De estar preocupados. Eso no se vale y por eso estamos aquí, para empujar la legislación H5018 y decirles a ustedes que llamen a sus legisladores, porque es la única solución que tenemos para este problema. No otro dinero para RAF. Nosotros hemos estado esperando desde julio, mi familia, y eso no se vale. The only permanent solution that we have is H5018. It's the only solution that can actually help us. Because if RAF is so dysfunctional now, just imagine with more money that people haven't even received. I received an email from RAF this week that said that they hadn't even reached cases from August. That's crazy. What about all those people that are facing evictions now? All the people that are lining up here? That is not fair. Yo recibí un email desde que RAF no ha alcanzado las aplicaciones de agosto. Y eso no es justo, porque la gente ya se está afilando aquí para recibir sus desalojos y eso no es justo. Entonces, ánimo para pasar esta legislación, porque es la única solución que necesitamos.
All right, everybody. We notice it's raining now, right? And we know folks gotta go home. So, but basically, we did what we wanted to do. We shut the door of the Boston Housing Court for almost half an hour. And they refused to arrest They could have done that, right? But maybe somebody called them saying, don't be on TV, do not arrest these people. They know they are wrong. They know they should not be evicting people, and it's cold. It's in the midst of a pandemic. People are gonna die. They have no conscience. So we are doing the right thing.
Sorry.
But right now, we're ready to also cut it a quit. We will come back if nothing is changed. We want them to acknowledge that we try to do everything we can. We want the governor to sit down and pass the housing bill we're asking for. H5018, we need it, our communities need it.
So one of the factors here is this is a Democratic supermajority legislature. There's a Republican governor, Charlie Baker, who had suspended evictions under emergency powers. So the legislature could override the governor if they wanted to. Got my umbrella out.
Dijo a la policía que no hagan eso enfrente de las cámaras, enfrente de la televisión. Pero todavía estamos declarando una victoria y vamos a volver. Eso es un mensaje, solo es un comienzo. Vamos a volver otra vez, porque lo que está haciendo el gobernador no es justo y nosotros lo que queremos es pasar la ley H5018.
All right, so.
She's saying thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. We love you. We love you. Stay positive. Keep your eyes open. We gotta come back here if they don't do what's right. And we're gonna go with the band who's gonna go when the Saints go marching in.
I'm gonna go try to talk to the folks in front. Take a look here. So this person's giving statements here.
So organizing around that is how I got connected to probably like say 88,000. And then this year it's been months.
Okay, 1 second. Sorry. My umbrella out. The rain kicked up.
So you know there's no rain underneath.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, it's too hard to maneuver. Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry. All right. Sorry, folks. Okay. Hey, this is Dan at Unicorn Riot. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for Jen for helping on the back end. So behind us we've had folks. Sorry, 1 second. So people back there are, they've been trying to block the housing court today. You saw some people being blocked back there. The governor has lifted a temporary suspension of evictions and foreclosures in the state of Massachusetts that ran for the last few months. And so they've been bringing back more judges. They brought back judges out of retirement to process more evictions in Massachusetts. So this is a really escalating situation. Potentially tens of thousands, possibly up to 100,000 evictions are possible. So these folks are trying to organize tenants, basically trying to, keep people in their homes. The pandemic makes it really dangerous. The CDC, recommended suspending evictions. So it's a serious problem in the state right now. 1 second. 1 second. There we go.
And we are united.
All right.
When we fight. When we fight.
Sorry.
When we fight. We win. When we fight. We win.
Okay. So the current bill number is 5018. We're updating the post on our website because the earlier bill had a different number this year, but I was a little confused about that. It is the same bill, or it's the same set of support, I think. And then that's what's been talked about in the legislature. I know Representative Mike Connolly has been working on that, Representative Honan in the House side, Senator Pat Jalen on the Senate side. Again, the legislature is a Democratic supermajority legislature, so Speaker DeLeo has been pretty reticent to do anything the governor doesn't want to do. There's like there's a lot of really slow and onerous legislative politics around the situation. Hopefully we can get a comment on somebody about that, but if the House Speaker wanted to, they and the Senate could just override the governor and do this. And the fact that they don't shows that it's not a partisan issue. I think that's basically the most basic analysis, is that this is not a Republican-Democrat issue. This is not a case where the legislature is blocked by the governor. That is not the political situation. And that's important, really.
I know.
That's, the way power in this state works is a Democratic supermajority legislature could override the governor on housing policy. But as you might imagine, the landlord lobby is really strong in the state of Massachusetts. Landlords want to, be able to get their really high rents in this state. Rent control does not really exist in Massachusetts. It got ruled out in a ballot initiative in the early 90s. But there are remedies, or there are, people can fight in court, and that is something Vita Urbana tries to work on. Because there are definitely some rights for tenants that people are not aware of. So if you're facing eviction, it's good to reach out to organizations in your area, because there's a lot of different options that can be tried. So it's going to be a very serious issue. I mean, it's, we're looking at tens of thousands of evictions. The messages here say potentially 100,000 plus. I saw information from about a month ago, maybe 7 weeks ago, that said at least 70,000, said the government. So there's a lot of pressure right now on renters in this state. And something like 9.4%, 10% of workers are getting unemployment insurance right now. Those bonus payments got stopped. So there's a lot of pressure on workers right now in terms of housing in Massachusetts. Not just in Boston, but across the state. It's a serious problem right now. It's a huge problem. So I think we've got the link updated. And so, obviously we've started to see more actions around the United States about housing at courthouses. I think we saw some in maybe St. Louis in the last couple of weeks. I'll just give you another shot of the crowd. I really don't think the police are going to do an action. We've got 4 state police and it looks like 3 city police. So state police and 3 city police back there. Here's the crowd. So again, we're in downtown Boston. This is the Haymarket area. It's a rally against evictions. Got the band out here. Boston area brigade of activist musicians. There are a lot of activist musicians in the Boston area. There are tons of them.
Where the majority of the 40,000
Okay, we're gonna. What's going on? something about restraining order. I don't know what it was. I think some people that were tenants got let in without a blockade attempt. I'm not 100% sure. I know some people got in without any pushing. Not 100% sure about that. So I don't see anyone else coming up, but so we got 3 security guards, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 people lined up, linked arms here in front of Boston Housing Court. Again, this is Dan at Unicorn Riot. We're a nonprofit media organization. We're distributed, horizontally organized. Try to bring you, what's going on in these front lines of these different social movements, trying to show you what's happening. So if you can support our work, that's very helpful. You can donate to us at unicornriot.ninja. Monthly donations help a lot. It helps us plan our coverage into the future, helps us figure out what resources we have. If you please, share our material. Obviously, this is a tough time in the media industry. We just heard City Pages got shut down in Minneapolis by its publisher yesterday. So, the media situation is challenging right now. Okay, something's happening. Someone's... Alright, so... That person presented some paper. Alright, that person got in. Alright. They're interviewing a person. We've seen a few people get in, a few people sort of get pushed through this line. Who was just during it? Alright. Just trying to keep an eye on this here. But, we don't see any pepper spray. We don't see, backing up.
Good? Alright. So let us know that you're going to probate or something. Alright, I'll help you.
I think that's the guy in charge. Oh, okay. Another line here.
Sir, come this way.
So the court security pushed out through the line there. So I see that the state police moved their position a little bit. They moved up this way a little. If you can see them there, there's I think 4 state police. Like I said, there's been a lot of state police scandals, a lot of overtime scandals. They will, and they're not really held accountable. Some commentators have noticed that the governor, Charlie Baker, who's responsible for the state police, never really seems to face any political pressure over repeating corruption scandals involving the state police and their payroll system. I think that, one thing they do is they pad their overtime, and what we saw last year at Straight Pride was a huge deployment of state police in their riot gear. For like a short period of time, they all showed up, got some hours, and then got in their buses and went away. So the state police personally, I'm continually taken aback by the level of corruption that happens in this state at levels like that. I'm surprised that such corruption happens so easily in Massachusetts, but it is a large amount of corruption in terms of state police payrolls. It is really something. Try to add that because it's been significant. It's been a significant issue.
Owes a bunch of months of rent to apply for financial assistance, find a new job, pay back all this money in just 2 months. It's not happening. We need the Guaranteed Housing Stability Act, H5018, which will give us up to a year of protection for not only tenants, but also homeowners and foreclosure. Alex spoke from the community organizer at City Light Freedom Fund.
There was Alex at City Light Vida Urbana, organizer, giving a statement there. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
What's at stake is people's lives. So my freedom, I can put my freedom out to that. The governor's diversion plan.
4 security officers in the door. The diversion plan. Diversion plan.
Will only expedite evictions. He in his plan.
Okay. All right, so they released the blockade, I guess.
So the governor.
Seems like the rain stopped. So that's good. No arrests today. Just to give you a view of the crowd. The radical marching band over there. Okay. A lot of construction going on. A lot of jackhammers.
What's going to happen on our next mission? Thank everybody for coming out. To fight alive. Understand that it's not over. Understand that we're going to have to come out here in this type of weather, in the rain, the snow. It don't matter. We got to move the needle, push the button, and we got to go where they don't want us to go. And as many times as we have to come back, we will. As many times we have to come back, we will.
Give you a shot of the supporters here. The rain is picking up here. Typical nasty, cold Boston rain. But still got a lot of people out, you know. This is a huge issue going on in the city.
We will.
Sorry, 1 second. 1 second. There we go. Sorry about that.
This is our land. When I say this is our land, I want y'all to say get off our land.
I'm gonna go try to grab my umbrella. Sorry, wait. 1 second. Sorry about that. Blockade's over. No arrests today. No arrests. No detentions today. In front of the Edward Brook Courthouse, Boston, Massachusetts, this morning, Thursday morning. We saw the court security push people out of the way. They sort of pushed the blockade out. They were trying to prevent landlords from making appearances. The state police were there. There's three or four state police. hopefully I'll try to talk to the organizers a little bit now that the amplification's done with. I'll see if I can get a hold of somebody. But yeah, the weather's tough out here, so I think people are going to bounce pretty quickly. Thanks again to Jen on the back end. Thank you for supporting Unicorn Riot, our website, unicornriot.ninja. We've got a short post up on the website right now if you want links and information about the economic situation in Massachusetts. A study that Vita Urbana did with researchers from MIT, which shows that eviction is heavily affecting communities of color areas. Here, I'm going to try to grab this one organizer who was giving statements to the media, so I will talk to them in a second. But yeah, there's good info on the website, and thank you for supporting us. Basically, we're looking at a situation of huge amounts of displacement, 100,000 possible evictions talked about today. So, all right, yeah, can I get some organizer interviews? When he's free. I haven't talked to him yet. Yeah. All right, so I just want to catch the organizers. We'll show you the landscape while we're waiting a second for these people to move around. Yeah.
And also,
Oh yeah, great, perfect. All right, so we're just going to try to talk to some organizers here, people that have been engaged in sort of the long fight here. And thank you all for tuning in today.
Thank you, Marshall. Good job, Marshall.
Yeah, we had no arrests today down here. Boston Housing Court.
it looks like Alex is being interviewed.
Okay.
I would talk to.
All right. So again, it's like housing justice issues are pretty complicated. There's a lot of process stuff, a lot of details, things like that. I was just wondering kind of what kind of work you guys do and that sort of thing, and sort of what the process is. We're live right now and we're streaming, so I just wanted to talk to people and just like speak up because of the band is behind you. So let's so my name's Dan. We're live on Unicorn Riot right now. Can you just talk about what kind of organizing your organization does and how Unicorn Riot?
Okay, City Life is a community of a grassroots community organization. We do housing advocacy work. We have families stay in their homes versus what the governor is doing right now, kicking people out of their homes. Right now we are expecting over 100 families to be evicted, either through foreclosure or eviction because the landlords are putting them out after the moratorium. We all know it's a global pandemic. So many families lost their jobs. Even recently I was reading yesterday in the paper that France just shut down because of the surge of the pandemic that's happening again. Boston is not going to be immune to this. So the very fact that this governor that we elected to protect the people of Massachusetts sees that it's okay for him to not extend the moratorium and refusing to pass the bill that will help families stay in their home. Shame on Governor Baker, and I say shame, shame, shame.
So if people receive something like a notice to quit, should they talk to organizations like yours?
Definitely.
And like every state is different too, so it's all very specific. It takes a lot of specific knowledge in every state to deal with eviction. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Definitely. If you are here in Massachusetts and you receive a 14-day notice to quit or a 30-day notice to quit, please, that's not a notice for you to leave your house. Stay in your home and call City Life Vita Urbana. We're on social media. We have a website, clvu.org/COVID-19. Go on our website, call our hotline. Somebody will be able to help you. If you're in Massachusetts, definitely call us. It's important. You do not have to move out just because you receive a 14-day notice to quit or a 30-day notice to quit. Do not move. Call us and we can guide you because, like you said, it's a long process and we want to come here and fight with you.
Excellent. there anything else you want to add right now about what this kind of work entails and I guess what you're hoping to see happen?
Yeah, we're hoping that the governor will be shamed enough that he will see that it's important to come out here and see the people who are dying. That's why we have these coffins here. People are dying. COVID-19, that's why we wear masks. COVID-19 has killed so many people right here in Boston, all over the country. We do not want more homelessness and expose folks to additional problems. So it's very important that we know our rights and that we call on the governor and the elected officials to pass this bill so that families can have a moment to recuperate from this crisis. Definitely. And this bill is not only for tenants, it's for tenants and landlords. So it's a win-win situation for everybody.
Yeah.
Again, shame on you, Governor, for not passing this bill.
And
we need it passed now.
And it's striking that, I mean, this is a Democratic supermajority legislature state, and they could override Governor Baker if he vetoed the bill, but that's not happening. So would you say it's like a non-partisan issue in terms of how it lines up on the politics?
I don't know everything there is to know, and we have lawyers and we have folks who are positioned to give you more information about that. But the only thing I know is that these folks may not understand that when you don't have a safe place to stay at night, to lay your head, is the worst thing that could happen. Okay, housing is a human right. And we're asking all these people that we've elected, whether you're Democrat or Republican, we don't care. We're asking you to do your job and do right by the people, because the folks who are coming to here, maybe they voted Democrats, maybe they voted Republicans, it doesn't matter. When they live here, they have to go someplace to lay their heads. They have children, they have grandparents. Last night I spoke to someone who has a child who has special needs, and she's being evicted after she lost her job and has not been able to pay rent. So 3 members of the family are getting evicted because of the fact that COVID-19 came outside of their control, lost the job, and now they cannot pay. It doesn't matter if they're voted for Republican or Democrat. Governor Baker and all the elected officials who are there right now, they are responsible to do what's right by the people they're supposedly representing. It cannot be them representing rich folks in the state. We need them to do the work that will benefit the working class families, the low income families right here in the state. Again, shame on him and everybody else who's sleeping at night in this rain, in the cold, and have the heat at their homes. They have everything that they need. The children get to sleep in a safe place. Meanwhile, I know families who are crying because they have nowhere. They don't know where they're gonna be next month because they're getting evicted right now. Shame on them.
Is it true that in some shelters, like, children can't stay with their parents? Is that part of the situation?
Yeah, like especially this lady, her disabled child is an older person. It's not like he's not like 5. I believe he's close to 19 or something. So he's a boy, she's a lady. So of course, I don't think, we were talking about it last night, I don't think that they're gonna be able to stay together. So it's a whole mess. Depression, suicide, all these things. That's why we say death. This thing is gonna cause so many problems. This housing crisis with over 100,000 families suffering. It's gonna cause I don't even understand how a country, a Christian nation, would see that this is something that they can let happen. I don't understand this. And that's why I'm here today in the rain saying to our governor, how do you understand this? What justification do you have for this? What justification do you have for this? Do you need to maybe take some calls from our hotlines? Because maybe if he gets the hotlines calls, he'll have more empathy. They have no empathy for the least of these among us, and they're calling themselves a Christian nation. I'm a believer, and Jesus would not let this happen. What would that Jesus do? Jesus. Shame on them.
So lastly, the governor said, oh, we're going to have some programs, but they're not really set up yet, and not many families have been helped by any programs up to this point. So can you just mention a little bit about the programs and kind of the slow wheels turning there?
Oh yeah, we've been getting calls since March or April. Folks, families who are petrified. If you've never dealt with this, for a lot of these people, I know one guy who almost lost his mind because this is a man who always had a job, never really had problems with a crisis like this, and all of a sudden he's experiencing it and he doesn't know how to handle it. So of course all these families are applying for RAF, they are applying for, you know, any money that is available, and they're having to wait forever. And yesterday, actually Tuesday, I was on a Zoom hearing with two families. Guess what? The landlord is saying, oh, I don't think we want to take the RAF money that you're going to be, you might be qualified for.
A RAFT program, RAFT, that's the name of one of these things in the mix. Okay, yeah.
Exactly. Supposedly they could get up to $10,000 families to help with the back rents that they've accumulated during the moratorium. And this landlord, this multi-billion-dollar landlord is saying like, well, I'm sorry, but I don't think we're going to take that money because there are too many strings attached to that money. So here you are, these folks, the government is saying, let's put more money in this program. That will solve the problem. But it's not, because if the landlords are saying no to it, guess what? These folks get to be moved out. So this is not what we want. We already know what we want. It's the housing stability, a guaranteed housing stability bill, which is H5018. That's what we want. We want them to pass this bill so that for the next 12 months, families could have the peace of mind that they deserve to recuperate not only from this pandemic called COVID-19, but also be able to start over. Many of these people have lost their jobs. They cannot get, they don't have the job anymore because the business shut down for good because they couldn't sustain during the virus, during the pandemic. So we're still dealing with COVID-19. That's why I'm wearing my mask.
Yeah, it's getting worse. I mean, we saw, in the last few days, more emergency alerts showing up on people's phones. We saw that the wastewater analysis shows that COVID's getting worse in the city again. They're saying that it's going to keep increasing just in the last few weeks. So it's getting worse again in the Boston area dramatically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sorry.
This is heartbreaking. I mean, it's just like, it's just like so hurtful. And when you're talking to a family and they're like, what should